Hello, my dear students. Welcome back to my channel. Today, in this video, we are going to learn an English chapter of class 9, that is, An Astrologer's Day. It's written by R.K. Narayan, and this is part 1 of this chapter. So, let's start. But before that, students, if you're viewing my video for the first time, do subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that you get the notifications of all the upcoming videos. And do watch the video till end. If you like it, hit the like button and share with your friends. And also, students, if you want to prepare well for your examinations and you are looking for the complete guidance, then do visit my description box of this video so that you could get the link of many subjects, books, and question banks related to your syllabus for of the subjects like maths, science, social, Sanskrit, and also some of the stationery which will be very useful for you. So the links are provided in the description box. Do visit and select your choice of collection from there. So let's move on to the lesson and let us know about the author first. R.K. Narayan, that is Rasipuram Krishna Swami Iyer Narayan Swami. It is his full name. He is commonly known as R.K. Narayan. He was an Indian writer known for his work set in the fictional South Indian town of Malgudy. Like whatever he used to write his work, he used to set the background of South Indian town of Malgudy, and he was a leading author of an early Indian literature in English along with Mulk Raj Anand and Raja Rao. So his name is taken along with the other leading authors like Mulk Raj Anand and Raja Rao. So let us see what do we have to read in this story today. So it goes like this. Punctually at midday, he opened his bag and spread out his professional equipment, which consisted of a dozen cowrie shells, a square piece of cloth with obscure mystic charts on it, a notebook, and a bundle of Palmyra writing. Now, here, as we're talking about astrologers' day, how is the day of an astrologer spent? So, here, punctually at midday, he opened every day his bag. He used to come at a spot where he used to sit. So, he's coming there, he's opening his bag and he's spreading out all his professional equipment. You might have seen the astrologers, how they spread their things and materials, whatever they need to work out there. So, they were dozens of cowrie shells, the shells of different shapes and colors, and they were having, and a square piece of cloth was there which has mystic charts like some of the signs which were put on that, and there was a notebook and number of many writings, a bundle of many writings were there, and his forehead was resplendent with sacred ash and vermilion. So he had in his forehead the mark of sacred ashes, or you can say vermilion, and his eyes sparkled with a sharp, abnormal gleam, which was really an outcome of a continual searching look for customers. Now, obviously, this was his profession, so he was sitting there with all his attire all ready for the customers to come, and his eyes used to hunt and look for the customers so that they could come and he could earn something there. But with his simple clients, took to be a prophetic light and felt comforted. The power of his eyes was considerably enhanced by the position placed as they were between the painted forehead and the dark whiskers which streamed down his cheeks. Even a half-wit's eyes would sparkle in such a setting. So he was sitting in such a way there where the light used to pass, and the way he was positioned between the places, it was something which could like sparkle in such a setting. He would highlight and come. The place selected by him was such kind of thing, such kind of place that it would sparkle in such a setting. He was just uh, uh, looked by all the audience over there. To crown the effect, he wore a saffron colored turban around his head. Now, this color scheme never failed. So, to choose when he has a profession, he has chosen the color of his attire accordingly. Because he is an astrologer, he knows saffron colors goes with it. So, he has selected that color turban around his head to have a more lively look of an astrologer there. And this scheme never failed. It was like it worked on him. People were attracted to him as bees are attracted to cosmos and dahlia stalks. He sat under the boughs of a spreading tamarind tree which flanked a path running through the town hall park. So he was like, he selected the tire and the colors in such a way that the scheme never failed, and the people were attracted him as the bees get attracted to the flowers and the nectars. And he was sitting under a bose. Bose is another branch of a tamarind tree, and there it was running through a town hall park. There was a park where there was a tamarind tree, and below that he was sitting there. And it was a remarkable place in many ways because there was searching crowd. People used to move up and down there. It was a narrow road, and from morning till night it was a busy street. Many of the people used to pass from there, so it was a good place for him. And a variety of trades and occupations were represented all along its way. So there were many of the occupations and trades which were going on through that road. From that road, even the people used to pass from that road. So it was a very perfect place for him for doing the employment or for his job there. There used to there used to be medicine sellers, sellers of stolen hardware and junk, magicians, and above all, an auctioneer of cheap dot who created enough din all day to attract the whole town. So there were so many sellers, and there were some cheap products which were kept, and there was auction which was kept, which was put on there, and the one who used to give the highest bid would get the thing. So all such kind of shops and the stalls were put up, so that attracted more number of customers and people over there from the whole town. So next to him in vociferousness came a vendor of fried groundnuts who gave his ware a fancy name each day. So there was a groundnut seller who used to come every day there, and he used to give a fancy name to his stalls every day. Sometimes he used to say Bombay ice cream, and one day he would say Delhi almond, and the next he could say Raja's delicacy. Like this, he used to give such unique names and fancy names that it would attract again the people there. And considerable portion of the crowd who came there, they also studied before the astrologer. So when the people, the customers, they came near these shopkeepers, they also saw the astrologer who was sitting behind besides this shop, so they would also go towards the astrologer. Now, the astrologer transacted his business by the light of a flare which crackled and smoked up above the groundnut heap nearby. So, this astrologer, he did not have a good, correct kind of shop for him, a good shop for him, but he just put his one cloth and he sat on the side of the corner of the road, and there were the lights which were moving towards his cloth from above. So he used to sit there and he used to do his job there. Half the enchantment of the place was due to the fact that it did not have the benefit of municipal lighting. So there was no municipal lighting or the facilities provided. The place was lit up by the shop lights. Whatever lights were there, it was because of the shops which were there. They had put their own lights, and few of them had hissing gas lights. Some had taken the naked flares they had stuck it from the poles, and they were lit up by the old cycle lamps. Some had done with this, and one or two, like astrologers, they managed without any light of their own. From the light which was coming from the next shop, they used to sit on that light. With the help of that light, they used to run their own business. So it was a bewildering crisscross of light rays and moving shadows. This suited the astrologer very well. So kind of, when you go to the dramas, you have a light setting and stage setting, everything, and you try to put the suitable lightnings according to the scene. So here there was crisscross light and rays which are moving around from the astrologer's side, and this suited very well for the astrologer, for the simple reason that he had not in the least intended to be an astrologer when he began life. Means he did not wanted to become an astrologer when he began his life. He did not think that ever he would become an astrologer, but just he had to do some of his profession. He had to select some, so he has taken astrologer as his profession now. And he knew no more of what was going to happen to others than he knew what was going to happen to himself next minute. He was as much a stranger to the stars as were his innocent customers. So here they say that he was actually not wanted to be an astrologer, and never knew more about what is going to happen to others the next moment, even though he was an astrologer. Okay, and he never knew about himself, like what is going to happen to himself the next minute. So how is he going to say about others? He was very much stranger to the stars. like as were his innocent customers. Like he did never knew anything about the stars and the reading, whatever tarot reading and this and that. So many readings they do, and they just tell about the future, the astrologers. So he had no knowledge about it. He was very stranger for all these things, and as similar to their innocent customers who used to come and just ask this astrologer, and they were just fooled away here. Okay, so this is how his living was going on. Okay, let's see then. Yet he said things which pleased and astonished everyone. That was a matter of steady practice and shrewd guesswork. So though he had no knowledge, but people were pleased by his work, whatever he said, people were astonished and pleased. Why? Because it was a matter of study and the practice and the shrewd guesswork what he used to do. It was just pleasing the customers. Okay. All the same, it was as much as honest man's labor as any other, and he deserved the wages he carried home at the end of the day. So at least he did some hard work. He sat there, he honestly, and he did some kind of work or hard work. So he deserved the wages at the end of the day. So he had left his village without any previous thought or plan. So now, why was he here in this place, in this area, and why he was sitting in this town hall street? Because he has just left the village without any previous thought or plan. He did not plan anything that he was going to do this work or job here, but he just, without plan, he has just moved from the village. If he had continued there, he would have carried on the work of his forefathers, namely tilling the land, living, marrying, and ripening his cornfield and ancestral home. But that was not to be. Now, if this person, astrologer, if he would have not come to this city or place where he is now, if he would be in the village itself, he would be doing some other work of his forefathers, which his fathers and great grandfathers were doing, like tilling of land, living there, having a house, marrying, and ripening his cornfield. He was having a cornfield there and taking care of his ancestral home. But that was not such in this astrologer's case. He had to leave home without telling to anyone, and he could not rest till he left it behind a couple of 100 miles. To a villager, it is a great deal as if an ocean flowed between. Okay, so now he had to leave home without telling to anyone. From the village, when he left the village, he did not tell anybody. Without informing anyone, he has left, and without taking the rest till he was away a couple of 100 miles. He did not stop, he did not rest, and to a villager, it was a great deal as if an ocean flowed between, because it was a very tough work for a villager to live and go to the some other place and have and settle there and start a good setting again and set up everything. So it was very difficult for them. Okay, then he had working analysis of mankind's troubles, like marriage, money, and the tangles of human ties. Long practice had sharpened his perception. Now, as an astrologer, because he was working for a long time, he could analysis, he could just talk and guess about the mankind's trouble. Like what are the troubles a human would face, like marriage, money, and the tangles of human ties. So these are the major problems. Usually, the people suffer. So this was according to the practice and which has sharpened his perception, his thinking level. It had sharpened till now. He was at least experienced now. Now, within 5 minutes, he understood what was wrong. He charged 3 pies per question, never opened his mouth till the other had spoken for at least 10 minutes. Now, what was his trick? He started within 5 minutes, he could understand what was wrong with the customer who had come to this astrologer. And he charged 3 pies per question. If one question was asked, he would charge 3 pies for that. And he never opened his mouth, this astrologer, until and unless at least for 10 minutes the customer would have said everything, and that provided him enough of stuffs and dozen of answers and advices. So whatever story the customers used to say for at least 10 minutes for him, he used to catch from that the answers and advices which he wanted to give. So in this tricky manner, he used to please the customers, and that is how they used to come to him. Okay. Then, when he told the person before him, gazing at his palm, in many ways you are not getting the fullest results of your efforts. So now he used to gaze the palm of the customer, and he used to say that you're not getting the full results for your efforts, whatever you are doing, right? And 9 out of 10 were disposed to agree with him. So whenever he gets this kind of advices and suggestions he gave to his customers, 9 out of 10 customers were agreeing to him. Okay, or else other than this, he used to question, is there any woman in your family, maybe even a distant relative, who is not well disposed towards you, or something, some woman is there in your life who's not behaving properly or is disposing you or spoiling towards you, something like that he used to say. And or he gave an analysis of character. Most of your troubles are due to your nature. How can you be otherwise with Saturn where he is? So either of these three things he used to say, and it he could just he was just able to impress, or his customers used to be pleased from him, from his answers. You have an impetuous nature and a rough exterior. This endeared him to their hearts immediately, for even the mildest of us loves to think that he was a forbidding exterior. Okay, so they were knowing that whatever he is saying is at least something is correct, and they would immediately be pleased, and they know that there is something which is forbidding, or something which is there which is stopping us to go ahead. So that is how the customers used to agree to his advices and suggestions, whatever he used to give. Now the nuts vendor blew out his flare and rose to go home. This was a signal for the astrologer to bundle up too, since it left him in darkness except for a little shaft of green light which stayed in from somewhere and touched the ground before him. So now it was almost evening, and the nuts vendor and the groundnut vendor and the other shopkeepers who were there besides, they all had blew their flare. Means they had off their lights and they were just getting up to go home. They're ready to pack up back. And this was a signal for the astrologer also to bundle up his materials so that even he could go home, because he was left in darkness now. There was just a little shaft of green light which was coming from somewhere, and that was touching the ground before him where he was sitting. So from that light, he was able to handle this customer who was there. Now he picked up his cowrie shells and paraphernalia and was putting them back into his bag when the green shaft of light was blotted out. He looked up and saw a man standing before him. So now, when it was a time to go up, he also started picking up his cowrie shells and get pack his bag again. All the paraphernalia, all the writings and the materials which he was having, he wanted to keep it in his bag. He was packing it up. So suddenly he saw that the green light, which was just falling in front of him, was blotted out. And just then he looked up and he saw that a man was standing before him. So that is why the light had been blotted up. Now, who is this man? Why has he come here? Is he a customer for this astrologer, or is someone else? So let us see and understand this in the next part of this video. So today we'll stop here in this video. I hope you have understood so far. And if the video was good and if you liked it, do hit the like button and share with your friends. And also do not forget to visit the description box, for there are many links which will be very helpful for you. So just go click the link and check and select your choice of books. Okay, till then, stay tuned and stay safe and take care. Thank you.